Welcome back to the channel, where rare American coins turn everyday history into extraordinary value. In today's video, we explore the most valuable top 2 United States Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel rare coins, each with a different mint mark and condition, and each famous for stunning auction results that have reached astonishing dollar values. These are not ordinary pocket change nickels. They are legendary pieces that represent the peak of rarity, collector passion, and numismatic prestige. By the end of this video, you will understand why these 2 Monticello nickels are considered crown jewels of the Jefferson nickel series. Let's get started. First up, the United States 5-cent coin from 2014 with a Denver mint mark, known as the 2014 D Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it may appear to be just a small coin worth only 5 cents, but for collectors and numismatists around the world, it has a far deeper story. In this video, we'll explore its history and background, its unique features, why collectors seek it out, its current market value in US dollars, tips for collectors, and what makes even a fine condition example something worth paying attention to. Stick around, you might discover that the coin tucked away in your drawer is more exciting than you realized. The 2014 D nickel begins with one of the most enduring coin series in American history, the Jefferson nickel. First introduced in 1938, the Jefferson design replaced the Buffalo nickel and has remained the mainstay of the 5-cent denomination ever since. The 2014 edition was struck at 3 U.S. mint facilities, including the Denver Mint, which is marked by the distinctive D mint mark appearing just below the date on the obverse side. The design features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. In 2014, the United States Mint continued this tradition with a massive circulation strike production. Over 570 million 2014 D nickels were made for everyday transactions, making them very common in pocket change and rolls. The 2014 D nickel was made in large numbers. It still has several features that make it interesting to collectors. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, it weighs about 5 grams and measures approximately 21.2 millimeters in diameter. The obverse shows Jefferson's profile facing forward, a design choice that's been part of the modern nickel series since the 2006 redesign. The reverse displays Monticello with clear inscriptions of 5 cents and United States of America. Though the design is familiar, it remains aesthetically pleasing and historically significant, celebrating one of America's founding fathers. In high grades, particularly those that show sharp details and full steps on Monticello's front stairway, the coin can demonstrate superb craftsmanship that collectors prize. The answer lies largely in condition and certification. Most 2014 D nickels remain in circulation and are worth only their face value if heavily worn or merely in fine condition. But for those preserved in superior state with minimal wear, especially certified pieces with high grades, the story changes dramatically. Serious collectors focus on quality, and coins graded at mint state, MS, with full steps designation, particularly in the upper echelons of the grading scale like MS66FS or MS67FS, are genuinely scarce. Auction records show that such coins have commanded impressive prices, with a PCGS graded MS67 full steps 2014 D nickel selling for around $900 at auction, and other high-end examples occasionally reaching similar premium levels. These higher prices reflect a blend of collector demand, scarcity at top grades, and competition among bidders in numismatic auctions. If you're wondering how much a 2014 D nickel might be worth today, the answer depends heavily on its condition. In average circulated condition, most examples are only worth face value or just a small premium above 5 cents, even in fine grades. According to current coin price guides, a 2014 D nickel in uncirculated grades typically ranges from around 30 cents to about 60 cents or slightly higher, and certified mid-grade pieces might bring more depending on market fluctuations. However, the most significant value lies with high-grade certified examples, where ambitious bidders at auctions or private sales may pay $306,000 for the finest specimens with strong eye appeal and full steps. These numbers can vary over time as collector interest and market conditions shift, but they clearly show that a common coin can become quite valuable when perfect or near perfect. The 2014 D nickel teaches some key lessons. Always examine coins carefully under good lighting and, if possible, with magnification to check for surface details like the sharpness of Monticello's steps and the clarity of the design. Condition matters immensely. Even minor scratches or wear can reduce a coin's value dramatically. Consider having high-quality coins graded by a reputable third-party grading service, which can certify their condition and increase buyer confidence at auction or sale. And don't overlook full steps designation. This feature can substantially increase interest and value among serious collectors. Patience and education go a long way in numismatics, so take time to learn grading standards and market trends. The 2014 Jefferson nickel may seem like an ordinary 5-cent piece at first, but its story is richer and more nuanced than its face value suggests. While most examples remain common and inexpensive, coins preserved in exceptional condition have captured the attention of collectors and continue to achieve noteworthy sums at auctions and sales. Whether you're just starting your collection or you're a seasoned numismatist, the 2014 nickel is a great example of how condition, rarity, and collector demand intersect to create value. Next up, the United States 5-cent coin from 1964 with no mint mark, commonly known as the Philadelphia Jefferson nickel. What makes this particular example special is its rusty or heavily corroded condition, which at first glance may seem like damage but, under the right circumstances, can spark serious interest among collectors. In this video, we will explore why a 1964 no mint mark 5-cent coin, even in rusty condition, can attract attention at auctions, generate strong collector demand, and sometimes achieve surprisingly high market values in dollars. The 1964 5-cent coin belongs to the long-running Jefferson nickel series, first introduced in 1938. By 1964, the United States was facing a nationwide coin shortage caused by rising silver prices and heavy hoarding, even though nickels themselves contain no silver. To combat this shortage, the U.S. Mint dramatically increased production, making 1964 one of the highest mintage years in nickel history. Coins without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not place a P on circulating coinage. Although millions were struck, the historical context of economic uncertainty, metal speculation, and intense public demand gives the 1964 nickel an important place in American monetary history. The 1964 5-cent coin features a left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, with the word Liberty and the date 1964 clearly visible. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, along with the inscriptions E pluribus unum Monticello and 5 cents. The composition is a copper-nickel alloy, which explains why some examples develop unusual surface corrosion, discoloration, or rust-like appearances when exposed to moisture, chemicals, or harsh environmental conditions. In rare cases, improper alloy mixing, storage in damp soil, or long-term exposure to corrosive materials can create dramatic surface textures that make each affected coin visually unique. While a standard 1964 no mint mark nickel is not rare in normal circulated condition, coins with extreme and unusual surface characteristics can become scarce within specialized collecting niches. Collectors of era coins, environmental damage coins, and visually distinctive pieces often seek out nickels that display dramatic corrosion patterns or rare oxidation effects. When such a coin still retains clear details, readable date, and identifiable design features, it may be considered a desirable oddity rather than simply damaged currency. This growing interest has increased collector demand, especially for examples that tell a story of age, environment, and survival over decades. In general, an ordinary 1964 Philadelphia nickel in worn condition is worth only face value. However, rusty or corroded examples that show unusual textures, colors, or patterns can sell for significantly more when properly marketed. At online auctions and specialty numismatic sales, visually striking corroded nickels have sold anywhere from $508,000 and in exceptional cases even higher, depending on eye appeal, severity of corrosion, and collector interest. Coins authenticated or described accurately as environmental damage rather than artificial alteration tend to perform better in the auction market. Value ultimately depends on uniqueness, presentation, and buyer demand at the time of sale. Collectors interested in 1964 no mint mark 5-cent coins should carefully examine details such as date clarity, portrait definition, and reverse legibility before considering value. Proper storage is essential to prevent further deterioration, using dry holders or capsules away from moisture. It is also wise to research recent auction results to understand what similar coins have sold for. When selling, clear photographs and honest descriptions help attract serious bidders. Consulting with experienced collectors or numismatic forums can also provide insight into whether a rusty coin is collectible or simply damaged. The United States 5-cent coin from 1964 with no mint mark may seem common at first glance, but when found in a rusty or heavily corroded condition, it can become a fascinating collectible with real auction potential. Its historical background, distinctive design, and unusual surface characteristics combine to create a coin that appeals to niche collectors and curious investors alike. Whether you own one or are searching for unique pieces to add to your collection, the 1964 Jefferson nickel proves that even the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary stories and surprising value. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more coin collecting content. Happy hunting and see you in the next video.